It's kind of cold right now. Turn this heat down. It's Monday, April 7th, 2025. It is about 5:45 p.m. I believe a week ago today, exactly 7 days ago, a week ago today, I was in Miami waiting to catch a flight to Atlanta, coming back from Guyana. So really about almost 10 hours ago, like around 7 o'clock this morning, would have marked exactly 7 days since I was in Guyana, since I was in another country. And this, I think, I'm actually not sure, this is the first video that I've recorded for Vanlife Diaries. I'm pretty fucking sure, where I'm actually doing it. I may actually, I don't know, I have to go through my stuff. I have had one hell of a week back, emotionally, physically, spiritually. This first 7 days back from vacation has been, it's been kind of rough. Not too rough, but it's been kind of rough for me. So I'm just making this video for myself a week after I got back from Guyana. 7 o'clock this morning, it would have been a week since I physically left the country. And about this time, I sat in the fucking Miami airport all fucking day. I was delayed by like an hour and a half. I didn't get back into Atlanta until maybe 9 o'clock, I don't know. It was 8 o'clock at night. And then I called an Uber, which was like about a 45-minute hour ride. I didn't get back up to my van until around maybe 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Let's see what's happened this week. Well, obviously I'm having that sort of like post-vacation depression, for lack of better words, where I'm kind of just culture shocked from my own country because of how I've been living my life a week ago. Literally, this whole week has been a culture shock. Say it's like the big thing. So it's been kind of depressing. I say the big thing that's been depressing, very big thing, number one thing has been food. I'm gonna keep it real. I budgeted money, like all my bills are paid, but I did not budget money to sort of survive until my first paycheck back. I'm going on 2 weeks without any pay because I just started working on Thursday. I came back on Monday night and I had Tuesday and Wednesday off with only a few $100s to my name. So that was a big culture shock for me. Was in Guyana, a few $100s literally lasted me the whole time. If we're taking out the money I spent on the waterfalls tour and the money that I spent on the bike tour, I walked out there with like a few $100, $360 in cash. And I barely spent the last $20 of that on like my second to last day. $360 lasted me the entire time, if not longer. If we're taking out my debit card and my credit card. And now I came back with about a few $100, $300 or so. I had to get gas. I'm gonna have to get gas again soon. I had to feed myself. Food has been very depressing here. I've spent so much money since I've been back only on food. I did buy a beer. I bought a beer. I had to do laundry again. I did laundry before I left, but I didn't clean my carpets. So I had to clean my carpets because my dog shat on the carpet. I'm just gonna keep it real. My dog shat on the carpets, probably because she was stressed. She's actually been stress pooping since I got back. She's better now. We actually just went on a walk and her poop is solid now. But for the first couple days, I got her on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, first few days, she wasn't pooping solid or regularly. She was like having uncontrollable poop, and she was pooping on my carpets. So I had to clean my carpets. So that took out money from me, you know. It's just been like culture shock, like very expensive here. I'm noticing just how expensive. I'm happy to be back, but it's sort of a bittersweet feeling because I was living like a king in Guyana off of $300. I ate good. I ate every fucking day. I ate multiple times a day. I was not hungry at all. I was not hungry. In fact, I had money to blow. I was actually bored. I actually had too much money that I even knew what to do with out in Guyana. And now, same amount of money, and I'm wondering if I should like eat today or like pay another bill. So that's been really difficult for me to transition. This is just for my future self and for like the 2 or 3 people who pay for this video, if that. But yeah, I've been kind of depressed just coming back to reality, which I was expecting. There's that glow feeling that you feel like it's supposed to be. It's really good for your whole life. Your spiritual is good for your body to travel. It is, and there are lasting effects. But one of the downsides is just I'm just sort of longing to be back on vacation. A few times this week, I have actually dreamt that I was in Guyana. Actually, just now, like I was confused when I woke up from because I worked last night. I didn't know where I was. I thought that I was in Guyana, even though I was in my van, and there's no way that my van would have been in Guyana. But I woke up and I had to like check to make sure that I wasn't in Guyana. I couldn't even recognize my surroundings. I was like, is this Guyana? And then I was like, no, this is where I am. I'm here in Georgia, Forsyth County, Georgia, United States. And it's great to be back because, you know, I get to walk down the street without fearing for my life. Not saying that there was anything for me to be afraid of in Guyana, but there's still that I don't know where I am feeling that sort of lingers around. Even though I'm confident and, you know, I was safe the entire way there, it does feel good to just sort of know that I'm safe. But there's also like that little bit of complacency that comes with it that, you know, maybe I'm just getting too comfortable, and you know, when I get comfortable, I don't really grow. So I'm feeling like I'm right in that sweet spot where I'm a little uncomfortable with kind of being human, kind of being a human being in America, a melanated woman, human being in the United States of America. It just feels that way. So that's where my state of mind is right now. I'm not going to keep this long. I just wanted to check in with myself. I have credit card debt to pay off, and I have my phone bill to pay, and that's the only thing that is really kind of pressing me right now. Oh, and food. Yeah, I can't really afford 3 meals a day right now. I haven't smoked any weed. I've been like resin hitting my pipe, so I'm clear-headed, you know, but with that clear-headedness comes that slight feeling of depression. And for a minute there, by a minute I mean like for a day within this past week, I felt like panicked thinking that I wouldn't get through this. But it's feeling now that you know, that's just naturally what I'm supposed to feel, and I kind of already know that I'm going to get through this. It's just very uncomfortable, and that's the point. I want to put myself, I don't necessarily want to be uncomfortable, but I understand that you have to be uncomfortable for a period of time if you want to grow. You have to be covered in darkness and in solitude and introspection and reflective. You know, I'm still within that reflective period of my birthday. They say the dark phase, well, not they say, the Native Americans or the indigenous people, whoever, ancient people would always like say that the dark phase of your year is the month before and the month after. Really, like the month leading up to your birthday is like the darkest phase, and then like the month after your birthday is supposed to be like sort of like that gray area where you're like transitioning into that new year. It's like a spiritual thing. So, you know, the month leading up to my birthday was very turbulent, as you can tell from the videos that were leading up to Guyana. But we're still in that gray area phase after my birthday, which theoretically should be ending 4/23, April 23rd. Shout out to the month of April. Shout out to any Aries person whose birthday is in April. Shout out to 4/20. That's on Easter. But so yeah, here in the next couple weeks, I should be transitioning and fully transitioned into this 36th year of life, and just kind of get a feel of what I want this next year to bring for me. And I'm kind of already gathering it. I'm gathering that I definitely want to make more money. I'm trying to find a way to make more money without doing any more work, and I feel like that's what everyone's trying to do. So it may be something, you know, far-fetched or just impossible, but I'm kind of feeling like it's not really that crazy. I'm feeling like there's billionaires and millionaires in the world who get more money every year and they haven't done anything different. In fact, they've done less work. I'm really trying to move into that energy of being able to make more money while not having to do anything extra, if not do less. And I'm sort of moving into that. I really don't want to do more work in order to make more money. It would be nice to, and this is just for my future self, it'd be nice to be able to like learn a good skill or something that's valuable to society, to where, you know, it doesn't really feel like it's more work, but it brings more enrichment into the world and shit, and it pays me more. I would love to move into that kind of energy where I actually develop some good skill other than cooking. Cooking is, I feel, recession proof, and I'm good at it, and I know how to do it anywhere I go. But there is a cap to how much money I can make without having to be like a manager and stuff. And I don't want to do more work. If anything, I want to do less work. At this beautiful age of 36, I don't want to move into doing more work. I feel like as a human being, we should have the right to not have to work, but that's just not how we're set up. So I'm moving into that. A lot of thoughts of making more money, because really behind all that, the intention is I want to get 2 more passport stamps before my passport expires in October 2027. It looks like I have like 18 months. I have like a year and a half until my passport expires, and I would like to go out of the country minimum 2 more times. I want to get, and in order to do that, I have to make more money. There's no doubt that I'll be leaving the country within the rest of my life at least 2 more times. No doubt about that. But the way my passport is set up, I would love to get those 2 more stamps in my passport before it expires in October of 2027. So I'm really trying to move into that, and that requires me to make more money, but I don't really want to work too much, you know, because after my passport expires, my next thing would be to, in order to keep that dream alive, to keep traveling, I would have to be able to get another passport. And I've had this passport for 10 years. I have been like 12 different versions of myself, of 𝘱𝗫𝗃, for like in the last 10 years. I don't even remember how. I obviously lived in the house. I'll have to figure out how to get another passport in another 2 years, which I don't even really want to think. That's just down the line. Down the line, it's always, I'm trying to get out of this country. I'm trying to travel and see the world, but that comes with sacrifices. That comes with, you know, a big life changes, and sometimes you got to cut people off. Sometimes you got to do it by yourself. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I've been able to come as far as I've came. And give myself the life that I've always wanted, but I want more. I want more, and I feel like I deserve more. And this is me checking, and that's where the depression kicked. I'm checking in with myself, like I've been kind of slightly depressed because I don't know how the fuck I pulled Guyana off with a whole new car payment, a whole new state, no family, no friends, Waffle House income. paid for 2 vacations with a little bit of that one southern restaurant that's now out of business. But mostly, since I've been here in Georgia since July of 2023, I've gone out of the country 2 different times solely on Waffle House income. And I'm getting to that cap. The first time was luxurious in Cayman Islands. And then the second time wasn't quite as luxurious. It was in Guyana, but it was an international trip nonetheless. I don't know how I'm gonna pull it off next time. And the only thing I'm thinking about is I need to make more money. So I'm checking with myself. I was depressed. I do want to give a shout out to, I don't know if I should say their name. I gotta give him a nickname. I can't give him a nickname. I do want to give a shout out to a really good friend of mine. I'll identify him by this. He's a man, and he is the only person from America who wished me a happy birthday on my birthday. I was in Guyana, depressed on my birthday, believe it or not. I was in another country, depressed. Not because I had nothing to do. I eventually found something to do, but because no one from my home country wished me a happy birthday. Not a single person, not a family member, not a friend, not a single person wished me a happy birthday on March 23rd. There was one person who called me, and you know who you are, and I just want to give a shout out to him, and I love you for that, and I'll always love him for that, and it really meant a lot. I did, while I was there, I think I didn't put this on video, but I was probably on Instagram posting videos or something, and the girl, Rochelle, who I met out there, she called me on my birthday at 1234 on the dot. The clock said 1234, midnight, and she was the first person that called me and wished me a happy birthday on my birthday, and I just met her like 2 or 3 days before that. So shout out to Rochelle. That really meant a lot. She also gave me a little hostess cake put some candles in it later that day after we took our cruise down the 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗏 River. I can't even say it right. So yeah, shout out to Rochelle, and shout out to my very, very good friend of a long time, who was the only person in America who called and wished me a happy birthday. So yeah, I'm feeling like I'm moving back into myself. This video is getting long. It's 6:03 right now. Right now, I'm going to just do the best I can. I have just enough money to get me through to my next paycheck, but then that paycheck's already spoken for. I'm basically going to be living paycheck to paycheck for like a couple months now, and for like the next 60 days, I'll be like, every paycheck is already spoken for. If I play my cards right, if I continue to like not smoke, or at least smoke minimally, or get smoked out for free, and not drink anything, and not go out to eat as much, just be selective, not drive as much so I won't have to get a lot of gas. If I'm really selective and choosy, careful with my money for the next 2 months, then I'll be able to get myself out of this little financial bubble and book another international flight. That's the goal. That is the goal. I literally have a countdown on my phone right now, which would give me 202 days, just like I did when I went to Guyana. Give me 202 days before I leave. That's when I'll need to book. In the next 60 days is when I'll need to book my flight. I'm excited. This is exciting. Now I'm excited. I'm depressed, but I'm depressed because I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do it. I just kind of have faith that it will work out. It's gonna work out, and so help me God, or I'll die trying. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be booking another flight in the next 60 days, all while keeping my head down, going to work, living paycheck to paycheck for the next 60 days. Literally, wash, rinse, repeat. This is exactly what I did last year. After I came back and got this van, I worked and fucking worked for 2 months, bought a fucking ticket, and then I worked for another 8 months. And then I was fucking in Guyana, just like that. So that's the goal. That's the energy I'm giving right now. Slightly depressed, slightly hopeful and excited, terrified, but also I'm really looking forward to being uncomfortable, because I know that it's gonna bring something good. I know something's great is gonna come out of it, maybe even better than I expected, like Guyana. Guyana was better than I expected it to be. This is a long video. I'm sure I'll have more videos, but this is my 1 week check-in for myself. I'm grateful. I'm really grateful, and I don't get to validate myself. I've posted all these videos on my Instagram and on my YouTube, and not everybody pays for them to watch them, and not everyone really cares to even watch them for free on Insta or anywhere. Like, no one really cares, and no one's really gonna validate me. That's something I'm moving out of. I'm moving out of, like, sort of needing and I'm so happy that I'm moving out of that, just that energy of just needing validation. That's why these videos are private, because the only person that I really need, who I really care about, who thinks about me is me, you know. The only person's validation that I need is myself. And it's a powerful feeling. It's a powerful feeling, but it's a lot of fucking work. It's a lot of fucking work, and I caught myself getting sort of like bitter or upset that people they see like the end result, but they don't acknowledge every fucking sacrifice that I had to make to get up to that end result. They just see me like on a boat in Guyana going down the river, you know, with the fucking Banks beer in my hand, but they don't see the whole year leading up to that. They weren't paying attention, or they just don't give a fuck. But and you know, I'm moving into the energy of, like, I don't give a fuck if you give a fuck. I've always said that, but now I'm really about that. I really don't give a fuck if you give a fuck. The only people who will know that I'm going out of the country is anyone who pays for this video, or who gets access to this video, or and like, that's it. Because I'm not worried about caring if you know that I'm going out of the country. You'll get the summarization reel and be like, oh yeah, that was fun, and you know, people will be like, oh, what, you went somewhere? And like, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if you see it or not, because I only care about what I think about myself at the end of the day. This is a long video. Thanks for watching. See you when I see you.
The young souls, the children as we call them, coming into our planet through birth now, are the fighters. They are the last reserve. They're coming in at the end days. They're ready to fight. They're psychic. They're strong. And they don't care about dying, because they understand they can never die. We misuse those energies by not giving them direction. These souls now are strong. Some are very bad, and some are very good, but none are weak. You must not be weak if you call them forth. And if you call them, protect them, because there is some unison, some harmony, some karma, a dharma that connects you with these souls. That's why they're born to you now. I'm saying that there's a difference between a spiritual person and a religious person. A spiritual person does not need a church, but a home and temple of God that they find their souls in is the church, and how they keep it clean and how they keep it out of ignorance, and what they do is it shows their manifestation of the God life.